In the past lesson we introduced the data block concept, and we've seen that they are data units allowing to be reused. We finished with this example where we selected one of the cube-shaped objects in the structure and we changed its object data. The object is the same, check the name, and neither its spatial properties have changed, but now is linked to a different geometry, and so it takes this die shape. Perhaps you're wondering why this die isn't rounded like it is the one we did previously. As we've also seen, what makes the die rounded is a subdivision surface modifier, which is linked to the object. Because this object is still exactly the same and doesn't have any modifier, the geometry is shown as is, without any change. It's also worth noticing that the likeness between these two geometries, the die and the cube, has nothing at all to do with what we're discussing here. In general, data blocks of the same type can be swapped and changed between them with no regards on the likeness of the particular data contained within. Let me keep insisting on the idea that an object is a thing that doesn't have any particular shape by definition. It's just a thing that exists and has spatial properties. Following this logic, an object data block can be linked to any geometry of the same type: mesh, curve, text, etc. And this is what determines whether it will look like a chair, a bottle, or a dog, so to speak. Now we will see some more ways to link object data and other data blocks between them. Select two normal cubes, and in the last place and as the active object, the object with the die geometry. Then we do Ctrl L and the Make Links menu appears. Here we select object data. We'll see how the selected normal cubes now have also the object data called die geometry, which has been linked from the active object acting as a reference. Now let's link objects to scenes, so two scenes can be users from the same object data block. Go to the die scene, duplicate the die with Alt D or Shift D, in this case isn't relevant, and move, rotate, and scale it so the transformation is clearly obvious. Do Ctrl L, select objects to scene, and here select structure. Go to the structure scene, and here we can see now the object just duplicated and transformed in the other scene. Notice that its origin has a blue color instead of the usual orange. This is telling us that this object is linked between two different scenes. The object is still a single object, and to check this condition, do again any transformation that can also be easily identified. Go back to the die scene, and you will see this last transformation also here. If we go to the object context, we will see the name of the object data block, and at its side number 2. As we've seen before with object data, this is telling us that this object data block has two users, in this case the scenes where it exists. At any moment that we click over this user count button, we'll create an independent copy of this data block. And we can do this with any kind of data block. For example, let's select one of the lamps sharing their object data and do this. A new object data from lamp type is created that is identical to the others, but from now on I can modify it independently.